Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to explore one of the most useful and most commonly used functions in Microsoft Excel, the average function. Whether you are a student tracking your grades, a manager measuring team performance, or an analyst reviewing sales data, the average function is something you will use every single day. So, let us walk through it step by step right here on the screen. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly how it works and how to use it with confidence. So, what exactly is the average function? Simply put, it calculates the arithmetic mean of a group of numbers. Excel adds up all the values you give it and then divides by the count of those values, which is exactly how you would calculate an average by hand. But instead of doing that manually, you just type the formula and Excel does all of it instantly. The syntax is equals average, open parenthesis, and inside the parentheses, you put the cells or range of numbers you want to average, then close the parenthesis. That is the whole formula. Let us start with the most straightforward example. On screen, you can see a table with 6 students and their test scores. I want to find the class average. I click on the result cell below the scores. Type equals average, open parenthesis, then click the first score and drag down to the last one. That selects the range B11 through B16. Then I close the parenthesis and press enter. Excel instantly returns 80, which is the average of all 6 scores. This is the core of how average works. You give it a continuous range and it handles the math for you. Now, what if you do not want to average every value in a range? What if you only need the average of specific cells? That is exactly what step 3 shows. I have quarterly revenue figures for 4 quarters, but I only want to compare the average of quarter 1 and quarter 3. Instead of a colon between the cells, I use a comma to separate the individual cells I want. So I type equals average, open parenthesis, click Q1, type a comma, click Q3, close the parenthesis, and press enter. Excel averages only those 2 values and completely ignores Q2 and Q4. The comma is your way of telling Excel, these specific cells only, nothing else. Step 4 shows something really important, how average handles mixed data. In the real world, your spreadsheets will not always be perfectly clean. You might have some cells that are blank because data has not been entered yet, and others that contain text like on leave or N/A. On screen, you can see a team sales table where Morgan has the text on leave and Taylor's cell is completely blank. Watch what happens when I type equals average on the full range. Excel automatically skips both the text cell and the blank cell and averages only the 4 cells that contain actual numbers. This is a huge advantage over doing the math manually because you do not have to clean up or remove those cells first. Average handles it for you. Let me share a few important tips and warnings. First, there is a critical difference between a blank cell and a cell that contains 0. A blank cell is ignored by average and not included in the count, but a cell that contains the number 0 is counted just like any other number. So if you have a 0 in your data and you want it included, leave it as 0. If you want it excluded, delete the cell content entirely. These 2 cases will give you different averages, so it is important to know which one you have. Second, if you need to average only cells that meet a specific condition, Excel has 2 more functions built for that purpose. Average if lets you set a single condition. For example, average only the sales figures where the region is east. Average ifs goes further and lets you set multiple conditions at once. These are incredibly powerful for analyzing data by category, date, or any other criteria. One warning to keep in mind: if your numbers look left aligned in their cells, that usually means Excel is treating them as text, not as numbers. Average will silently skip those cells, and your result will be based on fewer values than you intended, potentially giving you a completely wrong answer. If you suspect this is happening, check the cell format and convert those cells to number format before running your formula. I have also placed a quick reference table on screen that summarizes the most common average patterns: averaging a range, averaging specific cells, averaging multiple ranges, using average if with a condition, and averaging an entire column. Feel free to pause the video right here and take a screenshot of that table for your notes. It is a great reference to keep handy. And that is everything you need to know to master the average function in Excel. It is simple, powerful, and once you understand how it handles text and blanks, you can use it confidently on any dataset. If this tutorial helped you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.